Okay, so I went through burnout 12 months ago. My nervous system just completely fried. So I couldn't work. I couldn't out of integrity continue working with clients. I had to recover. I had to rest. And I had come out of, in 2020, an extremely toxic marriage of coercive control, abuse, and everything in between. Now, surviving that, moving through that, showed me how to read patterns of behavior. And through my recovery, seeing that these patterns were familiar to me since my childhood. So I'm also neurodivergent, so I see patterns. I was 7 a.m., November the 1st, sitting in my lounge room, having a coffee, and I see 5 cars pull up. I thought, they look like undercover police. And they went into my neighbour's house. Now, it was a covert operation of the federal police for 4 days. Over that period of time, my 9-year-old came to me and I noticed that she was a little bit different over the last couple of days. Something was odd. There was a change. And I said to her, "Sweetie, who are you talking to online? Do you feel safe?" And she said, "Mummy, I think I'm being groomed." And I said, "Do you think or do you know?" And she said, "I know." And I said, "Okay, why didn't you tell Mummy sooner?" She said, "It felt good. I didn't know, but you had told me things to look for, and then they started happening. But it wasn't a person being awful and nasty and bullying. It was someone who felt like I knew them and they knew me." See the pattern? So we reported that. The federal police were on my doorstep. That was easy. Then we also had my 14-year-old son there was an incident of a child that he knows that tried to take their life from an online incident, all in the same week. And my eldest son had a sextortion incident at 16, 10 years earlier. When we went to the police about that, and he also told me immediately what was happening, and we dealt with it, the police said, there's nothing we can do because we don't know, they can't trace it, they don't know who the person is, they don't know the jurisdiction of where they're at. So a lot of these circumstances just become, I don't know, what do we do about this? I don't know. And that's not good enough. Then I started researching and looking with children and suicides, which are almost doubling every few years. And that's boys and girls. If a drug hit the market and it killed 200 people, it would be taken off the market immediately, wouldn't it? But we're losing children at that rate.
Yeah, that's definitely a reality of the environment we live in. And so therefore I read through some of the documents that you have publicly available, and I guess some of those numbers were like crazy scary. You had the Australian Centre of Counter Child Exploitation took approximately 83,000 reports of online child sexual exploitation in a single year. So that's
200 a day. That's only
roughly
what's
200 a
reported
day.
and what we know about.
You've got sextortion reports that have more than doubled in 2023, and we're now in 2026. So the AFP's child exploitation reports have jumped 41% in 12 months.
Mm-hmm.
I guess most people are hearing these numbers will think we need more reporting, we need more moderation, we need more arrests, but you're saying something different. You're saying the architecture is wrong.
Well, the architecture of the internet is not wrong. It's designed to do exactly what it's doing, kind of like a pattern of coercive control. I'll love bomb you, I'll algorithm you, and I'll get you addicted to me. Now we're in a trauma bond, and you're going to get excited every time someone shows you a like. And then you'll feel really bad when you put something out and no one actually notices. Your self-worth. Anyway, so when you see it like that, Then you look at the patterns from cigarettes, from opioids, from any harm caused. The pattern goes like this. We cause the harm. We gaslight you and tell you that we didn't cause the harm. We will get and pay people to come and say that this is not harmful. But then a third party will come in and go, hey, we've proven that you caused this harm. Okay, now we're being sued. Oh, that's just a day's wage. No worries. We'll pay that because that's given us a whole heap of like, look at me, look at me, look at me. And people are still buying cigarettes and people are still taking the drugs. People are still on the internet. And I had looked at all of these patterns over 100 years, even before we had the internet. It's the same pattern. Then after they've been sued and paid out the money, guess what happens? You can have a seat at the table and look at the harm that you've caused and how to stop harming people. Now, I knew all of this before the Meta happened, but I didn't think that it'd be less than 24 hours before Mr. Zuckerberg got a seat at the table at the White House as an AI advisor. So it is by design. Everything is by design, unsafe by design. Your children, I'm sorry, but they're the product. They are the product making money, and they don't care if your child is harmed because they've got enough money to make it go away. It's all about the control. So we need to look at how do we get to the core of the problem? Because at the end of the day, who is accountable if my child is harmed?
Yeah.
Who is accountable to letting these things happen on these platforms? We need accountability.
Yeah. That's amazing. Now, in the work you've put together, I guess, there was a line that stopped me. You wrote that the harm was never in the content,
It's in the relationship.
yeah. And most of the safety conversations in Australia right now is about content and bans, removals, blocking filters. But you're saying we're looking at it at the wrong layer. So I guess help me understand what you mean. If a parent is listening to this right now, what's one thing about grooming that actually works and what is it?
So grooming is building a relationship. So the grooming is, I want something from you, so I will raise you up, so therefore you feel safe enough to give it to me. And that can be to remove, like, play games with you and build the relationship. We're besties now. Now you can trust me. You can talk to me on WhatsApp and then we can do video calls and stuff. Cause like, so that is where it can be a slow burn or it can happen really fast because they know exactly what they're doing. So they are asking the right questions. So this is where we're developing to understand exactly how a predator's mind works and what are they doing and how are they grooming our children that our children wouldn't, most adults wouldn't even know that they're being groomed online. How many people have been through coercive control? How many people haven't? So if it's happening to you, and you feel that trust, and they're so good. So we have to be even more sophisticated in what that means in building a relationship. Our children, if they have an AI bot that is protecting them online, it's not a friend. We're not making a friend. We are literally creating a safety network. Siri doesn't jump on and have a conversation with you in the middle of the day because she's bored. She just sits on your phone, and when you ask her a question, she'll answer.